Good evening and welcome to another episode of It's Okay with Tam Tam. And today, Ronnie, unfortunately, I know people have been looking forward to seeing Ronnie, my guest host on here, but fortunately, I had to work, so safe travels to her. But I do have my husband with me, Dominic. For those that do not know, this is my husband of almost 6 years. So before we get into it, please like, follow It's Okay with Tam Tam on Facebook, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel It's Okay with Tam Tam. So today we're talking about cultural and religious differences in a relationship. So first of all, when you come in, please comment on where you're from. I like to see where people are from and see how far we can get. We've gotten people from Ohio and Texas and I believe Virginia, but we also got in Bahamas, and we actually got somebody from the UK. So me and Ronnie kind of decided that we wanted to talk about this because of my habit of watching reality show 90 Day Fiance. So is it important, in your opinion, is it important for two people that are in a relationship to have the same religion or the same culture?
Culture, no. I guess both of them, I would say, it really just depends on the individuals.
As far as what?
Right. So if you can coexist and respect one another's views and still be together, then I guess so. I think ideally, you, especially I think culture, it's easier to overcome cultural differences rather than religious differences, especially when it comes to kids. And then religious and cultural, but especially religious differences. I mean, that can be a whole nother.
I think they end up tying into each other because, like, part of the religious, kind of the traditions and stuff, kind of will build a whole culture. One of the things, like, we're looking at on 90 Day Fiance, there's people that are Muslim and a person is not. And so they have a lot of different things that they do, that is part of their religion, but it kind of builds like in their culture, like of their habits of what they're, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like there was one where the girl, she's American and she's used to, she has a boyfriend. It's nothing for them to have a hotel together. And so, especially when they're talking about getting married. And he is not even allowed to go into the hotel room with her. And she is having a hard time doing that.
She's fast. She wants to.
She fast.
She may not be fast. She's got other things on her mind.
Yeah. So I think just part of the culture, I think, but culture can impact it. Like just even like within the US, the different cultures of the different states of how people practice and things like that, like the North and the South. Although we don't really have that issue, but a lot of times like.
Yeah, but there's not like deep cultural issues. I think what you're referring to is there's cultures that integrate religion as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think when culture or religion dictate roles, that's probably where a lot of conflict comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it, so my growing up, I had an aunt and uncle, and I guess they were both Jewish, but he was like really Jewish.
He was Orthodox Jew?
He was just like he observed all the feasts and things like that, and she just kind of went along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we actually moved in and lived with them, so we would actually do Hanukkah and Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
For the kids. It was great, but so I guess you can coexist.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think either side was really that devout,
Right.
And so I think the more that you are, I don't know, the more you're into your side, then the different, that changes the dynamic.
Well, one of the things that were on the 90 Day Fiance,
Is this show all about 90 Day Fiance?
No, it's just reference. Okay, well, I had somebody I knew who was not Jewish, dated somebody that was Jewish, and converted to Judaism because of her spouse and for the kids. I guess if she did not, then they would not get married. So she just kind of submitted in that way.
But was she really like a believer then, or is she just going along just to appease the marriage?
Probably to appease the marriage, but I mean, but would somebody be wrong if they're not a particular religion, but they kind of to the other spouse, for the marriage, would they be wrong?
I think it really depends upon the belief system that the individuals have, because like Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
right? It basically says there's no other way but being, Jesus is the only way,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that tells you any other way, they're not a Christian is not going to accept, right? Just like Muslims, they're everybody outside of Islam is not correct, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have those views that already put a difference in your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity says how together unless they agree. It says don't marry an unbeliever. So there are those things that in the fullness, I guess, of a religious belief, that it's going to bring a separation. So, but most people aren't that devout in their religious beliefs. If they are, they're probably going to marry somebody that shares them.
So in that case, it would not be wrong if she's marrying somebody of her that is not her religion, and whether that she converts to that or he converts to the other person's religion, or they stay separate. Because I mean, living in South Florida, there was a lot of, we have a very large Jewish community in South Florida, and it was not very uncommon for me to have classmates who got to practice Hanukkah and Christmas because one parent practiced one way and the other practiced the other way.
Yeah. So, but it's interesting because those two religions, right, Judaism and Christianity, kind of conflict with one another, right? So if you're really believing what you say you're believing,
Mm-hmm.
how do you coexist?
But
Right. And so I really think what it comes down to is how much do you believe what you believe? Otherwise,
why could you not coexist?
because there's a conflict between Judaism and Christianity, and that Jesus in Christianity, Jesus is the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Judaism does not see him as the Messiah.
Right.
Right. So and you have a conflict there just within the religions. I mean, look, Judaism killed Jesus, right? I mean, they're the ones who came after him for put him on the cross. So you have an extreme conflict there.
You can have a conflict, but doesn't mean, I mean, just like we don't agree on everything.
Again, it just depends on how devout you are in that belief.
So you're saying that you would never marry somebody that's Jewish?
Probably not. I don't think we would get along well.
Why?
For what I just said. Because,
so you would
because my belief systems are very important to me.
So you would not allow them to practice Hanukkah?
I wouldn't have to not practice anything.
I'm just saying, like, if you...
So, all right, so let's even talk... All right, so... And now we're having a religious conversation. So within...
Well, that's part we're talking about
within Christianity,
in a relationship.
Within Christianity, right? Let's say you're going to look at just the feasts of the Old Testament, which Judaism practice, right? They observe those. There are some Christians that do observe them as well, especially Messianic Christianity or Messianic Jews. But the way that you practice them is totally different, because a Christian views the feast and just fulfilled it, versus the Jewish person is celebrating it in an effort of still looking for the Savior to come. And so even the way that you celebrate it is going to be different.
Right.
So if either party does something to appease the other, you're basically compromising what you believe in.
Or what if they just say, if they're together and this is what you do, and okay, so you go off and you celebrate your way, and then I go off and celebrate. So say I'm Jewish, you're Christian, and I say, okay, I'm going to celebrate Hanukkah, and you celebrate.
So now the family split. And so, and in Christianity, the man is, and Judaism as well, and the woman is to submit to him as even a spiritual leader, right? So in that instance, she's operating outside both of their religions. Okay. Because she should be following the man's spiritual guidance.
So again, so what you're saying is that you can't pretty much marry somebody outside of your religion.
You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, the more devout you are in your belief, the more of a conflict it is going to be. That's it. Now, unless the other person converts. Yes. Assuming that, and even in that, is that conversion a real conversion?
Or I mean, why would you doubt it?
It depends on what religion you're talking about.
What do you mean?
Like, there's different, but I mean, you're gonna follow something you don't believe in?
You don't know, just like but you don't.
And I'll use Christianity as the basis. Christianity, a conversion comes from a true repentance of realizing, hey, I've sinned, and I need forgiveness, and I'm accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. If I don't believe that, I'm really not converted.
But how do you know?
It's not for us to know. I mean,
I'm just saying.
But the way that you walk out your day to day and your beliefs are going to come. Just like you and I, we're both Christians, or we both profess Christianity, but we have differences, right, in some of that. And so you're going to walk out what you truly believe. Bottom line.
Well, the whole thing is, most people or most religions, like Christianity, we're trying to convert people onto being Christians, right? So who's to say that you don't have to be Muslim or, Jewish or something else, and they decide they're dating somebody and they decide to convert because they've had these conversations, they've been going and they're practicing. Different. I'm just saying that could happen.
Yes, of course it can happen, but that's different.
But your statement
was converting for this other person. You never convert for someone. That's not converting. You convert because your convictions or your beliefs have changed, and now you're accepting a new truth in your life. That's a conversion. Yes, that's real. But just saying, hey, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get baptized in your church, even though I don't believe. I'm just going along with it so we can get married your way. You really don't believe it.
But how do you? But so let's say, I mean, because it's all possible. Somebody had to start going to the church. Somebody had to start in the religion, not to say, hey, I really believe this. In the beginning, if that's not how they were, if that's not how they're raised, they didn't believe that way. So who's to say that this person who does convert to this religion for this person doesn't actually start on and really believing and practice, because they're going
then that's wonderful, and they've converted truly. I'm not saying, I'm not judging whether someone converts for real or not. I'm saying if you convert only because you want to be in conformance or whatever, you really don't believe it. You're just doing it to make the peace. That's not a true conversion. If you actually happen to start believing and you accept it as truth, and that becomes your religion, and you're having a true conversion, then yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't know what the argument. I think you're arguing just to argue with me.
No,
because you like doing that.
I don't like arguing with him. He likes to argue with me. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you do.
We're arguing about arguing.
It takes two to argue. So anyway, so that's kind of I guess the religious. Your take is that it's really up to the person and whether they convert or whatever happened. Pretty much all of it, they have to work it out and figure out what's going to be best for them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what about the people who do? Because I mean, it happens a lot where you have people that practice two religions in the household for the kids. Because I've heard it several times where I'm teaching them this way, my spouse is teaching this way, and the child will learn both. And so when they become an adult, they make that decision.
Yeah, I mean, teach their own. Everybody gets but I think that's confusing for the kids. And then what's truth, right? I think that's conflict right away. However, they can make it work. They can do it. Look, they can do whatever they want to do. In my household, I think it's important to agree. And
on religion, because we don't agree on everything, but on religion.
I mean, but even the things you disagree, you have to come to common terms with.
Well, that's what they came to common terms with.
Anyways,
I'm just saying.
All right, whatever.
On religions that you're saying that they have to agree.
Yeah, otherwise to me it's confusion in the house. You have a house that's going two different directions, and a lot of times it's just someone that's not submitting to somebody. Or, anyways, it also depends on your belief. A lot of people don't believe marriage is really becoming one. I believe it's becoming one.
Yeah, but you can. We argue about this. Now, we argue about all the time.
People, yeah, because
I say
stubborn and you don't want to submit.
It's not about submitting. Like, we're two people. Like, we do not have the same mind.
I get her really worked up.
It does, because we can disagree.
Really believe in it, as I just said it, but
we can disagree because we have two different minds, and that's it. We can disagree, and that's it. We don't have to agree on every single thing. Like, you might like.
Of course not. We're two different people,
right? So that's,
you can be wrong. It's okay. You have the right to be wrong whenever you want to be wrong.
Anyway, let's go on to cultural differences.
Yes, cultural differences.
I don't know if you could say cultural differences or just kind of habits or ways of life. Because I know when we got married,
I mean, cultures are cultures. There are different levels of authority, and culture is a level of authority.
Anyway, so when we got married, there was some differences between us.
What were they? We're so much alike.
What do you? We're not alike on everything. culturally, what are some things that you know that were very different?
You were a single mother and were very independent and did not want to give up yourself.
Anyway, yes, I was very independent. I had to survive. I was single mother for 12 years.
Culturally, okay, so
one of the things was him and his side of the family are very affectionate. My side of the family barely would touch each other. Like we
kids that way.
Well, my name is Mary. Anyway, so there was a huge difference, and he requires a lot of affection.
It's a lot for you because you require 0. Or you don't require 0 because now you want affection.
Do I?
Oh, you do.
Anyway, so that was one of the big cultural that
is that cultural or is that upbringing or is that the same?
That's why I said cultural kind of habits. So that's
kind of family norms, those type things.
Yeah,
because there's cultural norms but there's also just your upbringing, kind of your family. I don't know if that's cultural, or I guess it could fit into that.
Yeah, and one of the things is kind of like in our family, and that's very different. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I just had some chili. One of the things is whatever. One of the things that's also different, and I know you say this all the time. So my husband always says that him and his family are very close, but we've been married 6 years. I have not met anybody, his mother and his daughter. Mm-hmm. And our family, although we're not affectionate, and we may fight and we may talk about each other or whatever, but we're family. We're going to go see each other. We're going to be there if the chips are down.
My family does the same thing. It's just through the Army and just that there was just a separation in my life. Right. And so that's really more about me and the things I deal with. Yeah, versus my family as a whole they are very close.
Both. Like your mother
she hasn't gone, but that's a matter of not wanting to travel by herself or whatever, but she talks to them constantly. So it's not that, like, if she was there, they would be seeing each other weekly. So, I mean, when I grew up, my cousins were my friends.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of a difference because we're not in this, we're spread out across the US and
but that's not a cultural thing. That's not even a family thing. That is something that happened in my life that caused me to just kind of isolate.
I know, but I'm telling you this, but I'm just even looking at it, even talking with your daughter, she's saying because
she grew up with me. So her upbringing now is different, but I was not brought up that way.
I know. So, but even with, I mean, like your mom, nobody came to visit your mom, even when your daughter was young.
They can't travel
now. But I mean, when your daughter's 25.
Cameron, you just know me for the last 6 years.
Your daughter's 25, yes. And she's saying the same. Okay, anyway, that's not something we're going to agree on. So I'm just saying because she's saying the same thing. Like she's not
something it's not.
I'm not. She's saying
to explain what it is, and you're just
because she's 20. You're saying
in your ways
because they can't travel.
Which is why there's conflict.
She
when two people
has not seen them, and she's 25.
They have to be right.
She's 25, right?
Yeah,
25. So that's a difference. And so another thing that was different in the family is like holidays. For Christmas we open gift and we have big dinner.
Cameron, you are talking now. If you were talking to Naomi, yes, she was brought up that way. Understand, my family background is very much like yours. However, I changed and isolated
When did you
myself.
change?
The Army.
When you were 18, right?
No, probably when I was 23, 24, whatever, when I came back from Desert Storm, and just kind of
So
progressed from there.
You have changed your dynamics with his, and your daughter is your family.
Yes, but you're not
And
married to my
so-
daughter. You're married to me.
Okay, but either way,
And
not seeing.
what I'm telling you is my family bound and upbringing was very much like yours.
But we're
It's
talking
because of the
about
dysfunction.
now how it's impacting the family now. Like we still go and see each other. I'm talking about now because what you have done in the past, you seeing your family and hanging out with your family
And we're
has
going.
no
We are going. Every year we've gone to Alabama except during COVID.
right.
At least once. We went to
Right.
family reunions.
Right.
We're doing all that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's something that I value as well.
My point is
now,
that
you value doing more than I value. Yes.
Yeah, because but my point is like we're talking about the impact on relationship. So when you say things like my family does this, it's not what's being presented in the relationship now and how it impacts it now.
But my family is gone. I mean, most of my mother's siblings, her parents are gone, and most of her siblings are gone, which was kind of the family.
Yeah, I know, because we've been married, you've had two people pass away.
Spread out and all that. So
well, ours is spread out too.
Everybody goes to Alabama. That's where we go.
In Florida.
And we've gone there.
Because half of them live in Florida.
And they come
to Alabama. we went once, but before I met, since you want to go back, before I met him, I will go to Florida every year.
Tell me you can go to Florida whenever you want. There's also life that that you have to live and responsibilities and things you have to do. So, but I guess maybe So those are differences. Those are different values. Yes, that we do have. Yep.
Yeah, because it's very important for to be there for one another, because you don't know when is the last time you're going to see them. So that's why we do that. Now that we have gotten all fired up, what is something else that hopefully won't fire us up? That's kind of like our habits that are different.
I don't think we're fired up. I think we have
differences,
different values. But I guess all of this, whether it's cultural, religious, family upbringing, family dynamic, all that, I think all of that, it just leads to values. And what two people values need to be aligned, or they will create conflict, regardless of what those values are. If you value different things, it will create conflict.
So how do you compromise on that? Because we value.
You go to Florida anyways.
That's not even just that. We value some other stuff besides the traveling. Like you value money over time.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
You have a very bad misunderstanding. A very bad misunderstanding.
How is that?
My thinking is this: you don't sacrifice tomorrow for today. Now you have to enjoy the journey. You got to do certain things. Yes. I don't want to work for the rest of my life, and we're behind. So I have a different savings plan than you. I would rather save more money so I don't have to work forever and have a safety for my family because I'm responsible. Whereas you are valuing these different things and you want to spend the money. And so there's a value there where you still want to save, but those values are not in a lot. Now, the truth is, the real truth is, you're not right and I'm not right. It's right. It's probably right in between. That's probably the real thing. And I think two people, if you're exactly the same, you're not going to grow. You're just going to continue going in the same direction. But when you have a difference of opinion, a difference of value or whatever, if you can respect one another and compromise and come to an agreement, then you both begin to grow and become better for it. And there's some times where you're going to be right and I'm going to be wrong, and we do what you want to do because that's the best for our family and the direction we want to go. But there's going to be times when I'm right and you're wrong, or I shouldn't say right and wrong, but we're going to follow what I'm saying because it's best for our family. And you have to be able to discuss these things out and come to an agreement and a compromise that works. But overall, I still say, I'm a business guy. I lead teams and all that. We have strategies and we have vision and we have goals for our teams, but not a lot of people, including us, really have goals for their family and have a vision for their family to say, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. And that creates conflict, as well, because if you're not going in the same direction, you will have conflict because you're going to walk apart.
Well, what I was going to say is not all that. I do not want to spend all the money, but my time is more valuable. And so
give me back my time. Give me back my time. I want my time. You say, what was her name? The congresswoman?
Yeah, stop. Anyway, my time.
Give me back my time.
Stop. My time is valuable. And so my Waters,
Maxine Waters, right?
yes.
But anyway, my time.
My time is valuable. Some things is worth just paying the extra money to move on to the next thing.
You're right, but understand, time is, in my opinion, is the most valuable resource because it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can make another dollar.
Understand that, but
time is extremely valuable.
You will.
So what you do with your time is extremely important.
Right. And so
that's where the value becomes different.
My thing is like, which you have adjusted, you have not said this in a while. I remember we was living in an area where the gas was a little bit more expensive than the other areas. So he's like, no, you got to go find a gas station. And I was like, I'm not driving around to find a gas station that has, gas a few cents cheaper. Not doing that. I'm going to the gas station wherever I am, wherever I feel safe, and I'm going to fill up the tank. Like that. And then like our whole thing with this blinds thing, that's recent. Like you want to put the blinds up where it's just like have somebody else put the blinds up, get the blinds, have somebody else put the blinds up and spend time with me and Zoe because you get limited time with us. And she's only going to be 16 months.
Yeah.
A few more weeks.
There's plenty of people who do stuff around the house and still have kids.
I understand that.
It was going to be an enjoyable project that I did in my house. But
I understand that. But then when you like tonight,
there is a fight.
Tonight he didn't even get to see her. And sometimes he might go a couple of days not see her because he has to fight traffic and he works long hours.
Which is why we're moving and spending double the mortgage to go move somewhere else so I can.
Yes. You can't. You're not going to get the time back with Zoe when you have somebody else.
But it's not always just cut and dry, and that's what you don't see.
I'm not saying it's always cut and dry. You're searching for a refrigerator.
Is there a marital counselor out there? We need a counselor. We need a marital counselor.
We need Miss Ebony. Miss Ebony, she don't think she's watching tonight. I think Miss Ebony is a counselor, but I don't think she's watching tonight.
Like it just comes to compromise. The answer lies in between. If both parties are just dogmatic and won't compromise, you're not gonna. You are not going. Now this is about us. We're talking about your topic.
Well, yeah, people have to compromise.
Yes, they have to compromise.
But they have to figure out
understanding.
Some things you're not going to compromise.
The more that you try to prove your point in a relationship, the more you lose.
But you also can't lose who you are and what's important to you. There's something like you honestly, you find certain things that are important to me and you respect them. And just like I find certain things that are to you and I respect them. stuff like the affection, like you told me from the beginning, I need affection. And one thing I do, I have a habit of, outside of affection, I have a habit of, my mouth gets me in trouble. If it's on my mind, it'll come out and I'll say it. But I'm mindful on certain things.
That's what Blake Shelton does on the
whatever. I am mindful of certain things to make sure that I try not to, like, that you know that I support you, that I try to choose words that help motivate you. Because
so
first of all,
culturally, you have a problem with your mouth.
I have a habit. I guess you could say it's a family trait, because a lot of people in our family, we have.
That's not a good thing. You have to.
I didn't say it was a good thing.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't say it was a good thing, and I said that I have with you. I have tried to make sure.
You don't understand. We've argued on the internet for about an hour now, right?
First of all, it hasn't been an hour. It's been 35 minutes. The time is up there.
Of arguing.
It's not arguing.
I think I was brought on here to be attacked. I think I was brought on here, and
you can blame.
Set up.
You can blame Ronnie.
My agent is not going to be happy. Not sure when I'll be back on
You can blame Ronnie.
I've been set up.
Anyway, I tried to make sure that I let you know how much I value you and how smart and capable you are on a lot of things. Like, he's a negotiator. He can figure out and find the best deal.
But I'm going to stop, because I'm going to stop spending my time negotiating and trying to find for our family. I'm just going to spend all the money and do what's easy.
Dom,
that's what I'm going to do.
You can do that on certain things. I'm not arguing about you when you like right now with the refrigerator.
I seem like your voice is a little heated right now.
And you are finding the best deal on the blinds. I'm just saying, pay somebody to put them up instead of you putting up 20-something blinds.
Look at yourself. You're very heated right now.
Oh, Dom, do you understand? It's 20-something blinds.
Help me. Help me.
It's 20-something. It's 20-something blinds he's gonna have to put up. That's 20-something blinds. This is not gonna be like a 5-minute thing each blind. And you're a perfectionist. If it's something that's a millimeter off, which nobody would see with the naked eye, he will find it. So it's going to take him longer than the average person to put up one blind, and you got 20-something.
Culturally, my wife speaks very loud and gets very excited and passionate about things. Culturally, that creates conflict sometimes in our home.
We don't actually have much conflict in our home.
Really? Because before in this show, we can rewind it, you were bringing up plenty of conflict and say that we don't agree on things.
No, we only say like 2 or 3 things. People like fight and argue all the time.
We just do it for 38 minutes and 7 seconds.
We didn't argue the whole time, Dom.
Most of it. We're arguing right now about we argued on the internet.
We're making statements. We're not arguing.
Oh, in a loud manner. Making statements of different sides.
He wants to talk about that, but he says his family, they will all get together and they were all very loud too.
We are.
So similarity. It's not even a difference. It's not even a cultural difference. It's a similarity.
Another thing we have is similar is Italians speak with their hands like you're doing. So that's a similarity as well.
I told Dom I'm black.
Why'd you do this?
Because my nose itched. I told Dom I'm black.
And that was a surprise to me. I did not know that.
God knows whatever I have in my blood. I'm sure got a little bit of everything in my blood. As we found out that my husband has thalassemia, and it's a
I didn't find that. I knew that.
Well, he knew he had thalassemia, which is a Mediterranean kind of this blood disorder. And he was like, I'm not going to worry about it with you.
And a rare one.
He said, I'm not going to worry about it with you. What are the odds? You're black. What are the odds of you having the thalassemia? And sure enough, I have thalassemia. I told you, I'm black. No telling what the heck I'm mixed up with. So I might have a little Italian. That's why our daughter talks the way she talks. So you're not going to talk now?
What am I going to say?
We have other similarities too. But I think we have adapted. I think we have figured out, we have been through so much in our relationship. We have figured out how
Yeah,
to
just so
respect our
much
differences.
outside of our relationship, not inside our relationship. I think we've been through a lot of crisis.
Yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
through a lot of crisis, and that's brought us
Yeah.
together.
And I think we have figured out how to respect and trust one another. And I think those are two very important things in the
But
relationship that we both value.
a lot of that's because you beat me. Help me. Help me.
Whatever. So I think that's the biggest thing um with any of this, with the religion, the cultural difference, and all of it, is trust and respect.
Kiddo, don't play that. Kiddo, don't play that shit.
He's silly. He's silly. This is what I have to deal with. Just imagine when you fire hot mad, and this is what he does. He does it. He does it to the point where I can't help but laugh. Anyway, this is why we're still together. He knows how to calm me down, and I have figured out how to calm him down. Anyway, so I think that's the key. What do you think is the of all this, between the cultural, how to manage cultural, religious differences, period, in a relationship?
Yeah, I think you have to figure out what are what are variables, right? What are the things that are non-negotiable, and what are the things that are
Yes.
negotiable? And if the non-negotiables don't fit together, you can't be together. It's going to create too much conflict. But the negotiables and the other things, you've got to come together. Because I mean, like even in us, we have our differences and certain things, but you help me enjoy life more. You help me to trips, things like that. I'm not going to say I help you spend less or be more efficient with things, but you are
You are teaching me how to
and
negotiate and manage and research stuff.
So there's that. So I think, but those again, those are.
What is your non-negotiable outside of religion? We already know if I was not a Christian, it was not going to happen. What is another non-negotiable for you?
I don't know. I have to put thought into it and think about it.
You didn't think about it while you were dating me?
No.
Like while you were out dating people before you met me? Like, so how do you know like what is this a run situation and not a run situation?
I know. I know my beliefs. I know my values and what I dear to me.
So like what?
And
like for me, it's important that he had a relationship. Since I found out that he had a daughter, it was very important that he had a relationship with his daughter, and his mother was close by. So he had to have a relationship with both of them. That was non-negotiable. If you did not have a relationship with one of them, it wouldn't have worked. I would not have given you a second thought. And I think very early in the relationship, I said I wanted to meet them because I wanted to see your behavior. If
I was like, girl, you ain't getting in my life that quick. Now, come on, you gotta slow your roll.
Whatever.
Slow down. Try to get in my life like that. I just met you.
And the other non-negotiable for me was my time.
Give me back my time. Give me back my time.
Whatever. But it was important that I have my time, like that you are with me. Like you are in bed every night next to me.
That's that affection.
That, well, you can, you can stay on your side of the bed, but as long as you,
How many times have we been pregnant?
So you have knocked me up 8 times.
Wow, that's
7 times.
Word. That's a strong word.
Wait, 7 times? 8 times. Wait, there's Zoe. Then we had 2 miscarriages after Zoe. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 times he's knocked me up. That's because he don't like to stay on his side of the bed. Yeah.
She can't keep her hands off.
It's him. It's him.
Yes. It's me that she can't keep her hands off me.
Didn't I tell you he craves affection?
Affection and intimacy are two different. Can be different.
Oh, so you don't need intimacy or affection?
Of course, I need both, man.
Anyway, so those were the non-negotiables. Like, and you still have no idea, like, if I would have did something that was.
I look at the character and just the individual as a person.
Like our first date.
I'm pretty insightful people.
You are.
And I know the type, of person. I want someone that's serving, someone that.
So if I was out there,
I'll tell you, my pet peeves are selfishness. I hate it. I absolutely hate selfishness.
So that's your non-negotiable.
I hate, a lack of integrity.
Your non-negotiable.
Yeah, those are non-negotiables to me. And I think Christianity is important to me as well. That's a non-negotiable for me as well.
Well, they are. We already that we already know.
And so there's other things.
So did you see all that the first date that he made me cry on? He made me cry the first date. Yes, I'm telling everybody. Again, every time I get a chance, I'm telling everybody. He made me cry. Did you see those characteristics on our first date, Emmy?
Some. I mean, I saw a glimpse. I just met you. I can't.
But you were having
I can't tell one thing. I mean,
you were having some deep-rooted questions.
They're really not that deep. You just were not used to that. I just wanted to get to know you as a person, kind of what you were about. It's pretty sad that was a deep-rooted question.
No, he saw me and he said that this is the girl I was gonna marry, and that's what happened.
Okay. Here we are.
Anyway,
we're married.
Yeah, we are married. We got married in less than a year. Yeah. All because I had integrity. A Christian with integrity.
Mainly because you weren't selfish. That was the big thing.
And how did you see that? Oh, you know why you saw that? Because I was in your apartment washing your dang dishes.
No, I'm not going to tell the whole world why.
Okay, well, I'll leave it as that. If he says that, I'm going to trust him to keep my mouth shut on that, so I'll leave that alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what you call progress. So we have come together in this 47 minutes and 54 seconds.
Whatever.
And that you have just witnessed a breakthrough.
Whatever.
This is amazing. This has been a tremendous episode today. Thank you all for tuning in and being a part of this breakthrough moment. I advise that you would pin this post to the top of your feed so that you can refer to it again and just go to that 47-minute mark and just listen to it again. You have witnessed
us agreeing.
I won't say a miracle, but you have witnessed breakthrough.
Whatever.
Yep.
Anyway, as we close out our show, we have come to the conclusion again that it's about trust and compromise and knowing what's important to you. And respect.
Respect has to be trust and respect. Yeah.
You have to respect one. We have both witnessed relationships where the respect is not there and it's not a pretty sight to see. So with that being said, you're dating somebody, know what's important to you, respect the person.
Know your non-negotiables.
Know your non-negotiables. Don't be like him. He still got to think about it after 6 years.
I know what I'm looking for.
You ain't looking for nothing now. You got me. Go ahead.
Goodness.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
All right, you guys, don't forget to follow us on It's Okay with Tam Tam. Let me see. Our next episode will be November 29th. Hopefully Ronnie will be back. If not, you'll be with him.
not.
Why will you not? Oh no, you'll be out of town. So hopefully
Just tell the whole world that I'm going to be out of town in 29.
Yeah. We're gonna be talking about cuffing season. Cuffing.
What the hell is cuffing season?
He's old school. He don't know. Cuffing season. You know how people get into relationships around the holiday season? A holiday season relationship? He don't know.
I've never heard the term cuffing season.
Cuffing.
Yeah, but okay.
So that's what we'll be talking about. So be ready. Again, don't forget to like, follow. It's Okay with Tam Tam on Facebook, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Dom, for joining me.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy your turkey or whatever you guys celebrate. I think some people don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Whatever you do, if you get off from work, enjoy your time.
Black Friday.
Yeah, stay safe.
Oh, African American Friday, sorry. Or what was the
Black? What is he talking about? Black Friday is. Please forgive my husband. Just
go hit the sales up.
Anyway, you guys have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
What?